Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. I'm your host, Siren Frost, and we're back again with another deck profile video for you guys. And this one is going to be, I don't know if you guys can call it like an updated deck profile video because it's been so long, but it's like a new ride line, a new deck, so it's probably just a full new deck profile, pretty much so. This is going to be a somewhat of an update to my Baromagnes deck. This is the new version called Providence Disorder Baromagnes. And listen, there's a little backstory I'm just going to say this right now because I did lose my Baromagnes deck a long time ago, a few years back when my car got stolen. So everything with mine was taken from me. It was so upsetting. I did not feel any sort of happiness from it. And it sucked too because I lost a lot of good binder trades and all that stuff. It's sad but true. But, you know, in the end, years later, they invented the ride line for Baromagnes or updated him. And this to me is a Baromagnes resurrection kind of thing. With somewhat of a brand new ride line with, surprisingly, the grade zeros only, for some reason they leave the grade zero like the same, while the other ones get a full new treatment. I don't get that whatsoever. I don't get it. But it's okay, you know, shit happens, and it is what it is. So we are using some new cards from the collections from DC BT4. I don't know, you guys. Like I miss playing Baromagnes because it was one of the few decks I actually became very good with, even though I lost to it so many times. Yeah, it's a sad story. But enough about that. It's a small little backstory. Now, there's a backstory between Baromagnes in the anime. So far, it's been Kensuke Moriyama as the first Baromagnes player. Then, since he's out of commission, there's a new one named Yurina. And she is now been the new owner, so far, for Baromagnes. So I'm assuming this is her build as well. Pretty much. Maybe it's a little bit different. But we already know what Baromagnes does. The more cards you accumulate in the soul, the more abilities that some cards will have. So yeah. So let's just hop into this video and see what we can catch up with. So we have, of course, the energy generator for the right deck rest for our ride deck. Next we have the Uncanny Burning for our grade 0, and I do have the holo versions. I got 2 of these now because I want the 2 for the regular Baromagnes and the other one for the new Baromagnes. So there you go. And now, the 1, 2, and 3 are different. So the first one we're doing is Piquant Miasma. When this unit is worked upon by Sanguinary Tamer, soul charge 2 cards, choose one of your Vanguards, and use 5k power until the end of turn. So that's a new one. Grade 2 we have Sanguinary Tamer. When this unit is worked upon by a grade 3 Vanguard with Baromagnes in its card name, soul charge 2 more cards, choose a grade 3 or less card from your soul, and you may call it to rear guard. So you have the option of calling it if you really want to. If not, you can just leave it in the soul. And of course we have the boss to deck the new improved Baromagnes, the Providence Disorder Baromagnes. During your turn, this unit gets 5,000 power for each card in your soul that has Baromagnes in its card name. When this unit attacks a Vanguard, Carablast 1, and perform all the following effects according to the number of cards in your soul. 10 or more, draw a card, and this unit gets +1 critical until that battle. 15 or more cards, choose any number of your and your opponent's rear guards, and you and your opponent put those into soul. Choose up to 2 cards from the soul and call them the rear guard, and they get 10,000 power into that battle. Now here's a tricky one. I don't know if anybody can do this one. 20 or more cards until the end of that battle. When your opponent would call cards from the hand, they must call 3 or more at the same time. So that's a little bit of guard restrictions. That's a new little bonus that they decided to add with this new Baromagnes. Pretty much so. I'm believe it or not, it's actually not really bad. It just, of course, the deck relies too much on the soul, and of course that's gonna hurt your deck maybe a little bit. Because especially if you're going to get triggers. And, yeah. Now, I'm not sure if I should add the original Baromagnes to this deck as well. I've been debating on it. So you basically have four different copies of Baromagnes to fill the soul. But that's just me. It might be a little too much for some people, but I think it may be a good choice. I don't know. Still debating on that. But yeah, that is the confirmed ride line for this new version of Baromagnes. And yes, we're using Murray sleeves for our Dark States sleeves. So now we have our trigger lineup, which I think since because it's Yurina's deck now because she's using Baromagnes, I think we should add 4 copies of Direful Doll Alexandra for her heals. Yeah, that's a bummer, unfortunately. It's the glare, I think, it's the problem. So then we also have 8 criticals, which is also 4 Flinty slashers for our 4 crits. And then we also have Stem Deviant Dragon for our 8 criticals. Next, we also have 3 copies of Diabolos Girls Natalia for our fronts. Just because this deck does rely on fronts as sometimes. And I do like the 20k shield value anyway, so it's an automatic stable for me. And then of course we have the Overtrigger, which is Gallmageheld. I know I was thinking about doing Vanguards, but Vanguards to me, it goes for the exclusive decks like Odium or the decks I actually do like. This deck, I have to say honestly, it's been like so long, and I have to give it like a 7 out of 10 the way I kind of build it, but it's all honesty, it's the best I could do for this new collection as well. So that is my trigger lineup of choice. Sorry for the glare, you guys, though. I'm trying to figure out how to not make it so glary. And yes, I'm using the Sparkle Black Sleeves from Dragon Shields for this deck here. So, lately I've been honest with you. I have to be honest with you guys. I've been using less grade 1s in this deck and more grade 2s just because the grade 2s do have more abilities that I do like. And the grade 1s are just mainly for boostings that if I actually do like it or not. So I am using 12 grade 1s in this deck right now. This one is from the set 4 collection. This is the Chaotic Dance of Waking Illusions Mafahl, I think. I gotta see the name, but yeah. Basically what she does is, at the end of battle this unit boosted, if your soul has 10 or more cards, retire this unit, choose one of your grade 3 or greater Vanguard with Baromagnes in its card name, and the cost of that unit's original auto ability is reduced by Counterblast 1 at the end of turn. So it's a Counterblast reducer for Baromagnes, just in case. I might just have to hurry and do like a little peek here, pretty much. This might look a little bad, but it'll show like there's a soul coming out of her. For generic wise, I thought we guys can go stick with the true, one of the few cards I do like is Brainwash Swirler. We all know this is a very classic type of generic card. Very expensive, but a still very, very good card to have, in my opinion. Now, we also have 4 perfect guards, which is Repelled, Malice, Dragon, because I assume that Yurina is using these ones in the anime as well, so that's what I figured, not finger, what the fuck did that came from? Can't relate. Sorry. But yeah, I assume she's using this perfect guard right here, like Sophie using an Almagestar, but it's a nice little reference. And the best part is about Yurina, I found out whether she's an English or Japanese voice actress, she seemed like she's not as snotty as a pro player than like the other pro players, like Raika Koshiba, but I digress on from that. Even though I'm resenting trying to build his deck when he comes out, when I get the new cards. Fuck! For grade 2s, actually we're using 11 grade 2s in this deck, so not too much grade 2s. It's probably grade 3s. Okay. So the first one we have is Momentary Stillness Shueren. Her skill is, when this unit is placed on rearguard from hand, choose a grade 3 Vanguard. Choose a grade 3 card with Baromagnes in its card name from your ride deck, and you may reveal it. If you reveal the card, or if your Vanguard is Baromagnes, which obviously is going to be, in its card name, choose a card from your drop and put it into your soul. If your Vanguard's Baromagnes, of course, in its card name, this unit gets plus 5,000 power in the end of turn. When this unit is put into soul from rearguard by your Vanguard Baromagnes' ability, draw a card. Okay, that's a lot. That's a mouthful a little bit. Half of these texts here is just a little too long for me personally, but god fucking dick. Okay, let me see here. Can this not close anymore? Fucking dick. There. Alright, does that show a little better? Probably not. Well, I tried. So, you know, at least I can try with that a little bit. So, I'm sorry. I really am. So, anyways, here is another unit. 4 copies of Hardening Insight. When this unit is placed on rearguard, if your Vanguard, if your Vanguard's Baromagnes, which obviously the whole deck is, Energy Blasts 2. Choose up to 2 normal units from your drop and put them into the bottom of your deck in any order and soul charge 2. Okay. During your turn, if your soul has 15 or more cards or your soul charge was total of 3 or more this turn, this unit gets 15,000 power into the turn. So that is a nice little right there for this little guy here. And then of course we have a classic from the set 9 collection from the D series, pretty much so, which the whole deck's all D series, but I split them the best I can. We have 3 copies of Azul Wild Flame Frenadio. This is one of the classic cards I do like. Maybe bump up to 4 pretty much. When this unit attacks a Vanguard, if my Vanguard's Baromagnes, put another card or rearguard into your soul. Choose one of your opponent's rearguards and put it into his soul. If your opponent's rearguard was put into his soul, this unit gets 10,000 power into that battle. So it does fuck up your opponent's board pretty much. Let me see if I can move right here. But yeah, I'm sorry if there's not much enthusiasm in this one because I've seen this deck rarely these days, and it's nice that I can build it. But I guess it's been probably too long, so I'll probably have to get a good feel to it again. But I did play it once, and it was very good. It's just, it lost the hands of Vergalia, which, you know, that's going to happen. I'm not that big of a terrible player. It's just been too long for me. Now, here is 11 more 11 cards in the grade 3s. So we have 3 more copies of Baromagnes for Persona Ride ability, Personification. And then we have a new one that comes with Baromagnes. This is President of Opulence Morax. When this unit... okay, let me say it slowly. I get really excited. When this unit is placed on rearguard, if your Vanguard's Baromagnes, obviously it is, soul charge 1, and its unit gets 5k power in the end of turn. That's the first effect. Then Counterblast 1, choose any number of normal units from your soul, return them to the deck, and shuffle it. This unit gets 5,000 power in the end of the turn for each card chosen by this effect. So, it may screw up your opponent's, or screw you up a little bit on your soul charging, but, you know, the more power the better, in my opinion. That's probably a last resort. And then here is an order card that goes with Baromagnes, from the set 7 collection. This is the Magnereversal Breaker. Play this with Counterblast 1 and in my Vanguard's Baromagnes. Soul Charge 3, choose one of your Vanguards and it gets his skill. If your soul has 10 or more cards, all your front row units gets 5,000 power into the turn. That's just another perfect option because it doesn't require you to do Master of Gravity or Providence Disorder. It just says any Baromagnes in its card name. So I figured this would be a good choice. You guys can say this is probably a little too much because you don't want to deck yourself out too much. I understand that, but it is what it is at this point. But that is it for the deck profile video for the new Baromagnes. I honestly say, like I said, I might give this deck like 7 out of 10 because it's still kind of new to me and I still need to get used to it, pretty much. But I do like the new concept, and I'm glad I actually can play Baromagnes again. It's been so long since I did play it, since the first Master of Gravity. But, you know, maybe I'll get used to it. Maybe I'll like it. You know, I'll see what I can do with it next time. But maybe there'll be more support. I don't know. But we'll see what happens. But yeah, guys, thank you guys so much for watching. And I really hope you guys had a great holiday yesterday for Christmas. I know I somewhat did. If you guys like the content I do create on this channel, please subscribe for this channel, show some love, rate, comment down below, and let me know what you guys think about this deck here. Should I add some older stuff, more older stuff for this deck to be more playable, or or just keep it how it is right now? But let me know in the comments down below. And anyways, you guys, that's pretty much all it. I hope you guys be safe out there, make good choices, and if I don't see you guys before New Year's, happy early New Year's, and I'll see you guys in 2025, you know? So, you guys take care, and have a good day, and as always, I've been your host, Siren Frost, signing out.